ICICI, the way in which you create a fixed deposit in ICICI is different from what you would do in, let's say, Canara Bank, for example, and that is because of the underlying backend system and the guys who actually created the front end systems. In order to circumvent that, you would build these agentic systems. What does that mean? That means that the UI and the UI of what you had earlier is going to change. However, user experiences are going to matter a lot. So if you are looking at user experience, then that is a very promising field, but you have to go deep into that area. But I'm not trying to say that think interfaces like React or other frameworks and scripting languages are going to suddenly stop. It will continue to have a market. So please pursue what you're trying to pursue. You can create interfaces automatically as well. So there's no need to change your field of interest. Ethical aspect, ethical aspects, how it can ensure data privacy. See, this is, would it be necessary for AI to feed? Uh, Again, Aditya, agents do not ensure data privacy unless you build an agent specifically for that. I'm just trying to understand, where your question is coming from. See, number one, the foundation models are trained on information which is not made public, especially if you look at the proprietary models. So, whether it is OpenAI or the other vendors in the market, they are not making public the data that they have used to train their models, because that determines the success of the model itself. As a result, data is the differentiation, the differentiator for various companies, for example, and that is why they have concerns over using certain models for certain processes. Now, for example, if I'm asking a generic question as to how do I apply for a credit card, that's a generic question. That information is available publicly, right? So there is no harm in that question being put to a foundation model which is hosted somewhere else. However, if I'm asking a very specific question which has a potential of exposing my proprietary data to the external world, that is an issue for me. So those are the concerns that are there from a data privacy perspective, from a inference standpoint. So in order to address them, you have the concept of guardrails, so on and so forth. So you determine whether your question itself and your response contain private or sensitive information, and then you anonymize or you mask that. In terms of using the model using private information to train the model, that's a completely different field, right? I mean, you obviously, if you're getting some data to train a model, you have to get acceptance from the data from those who own the data, right? You have to get their compliance to use it. Okay. What books would you recommend? So look at any O'Reilly books that are available. All the books are good. Pick up any one of them, and read. The O'Reilly publications are one of the best which I found. Uh, Mihir, I think I've answered your question. What is the PEAS framework? I don't know about this. I'll have to check up. I'll make a note of that. Why, with so many tools in AI popping up like LangChain? Yeah. Now, this is a good question. I mean, is it worth learning? The answer is yes. But is it worth learning all the tools? The answer is no. So pick up just one framework. So if you are on LangChain, you stick on to LangChain. If you want CrewAI, stick on to CrewAI. If you are on to Google's agentic ADK, stick on to that. There is no need to learn multiple frameworks, if you ask me. Just know one, and in that one, go as deep as possible. I want to make AI that works offline also. So Khushi, to make AI work offline, I think you're referring to uh, hosting a model yourself. Now, there are smaller models which you can host on your computer. These are open source models, obviously from Hugging Face, etc. So that is possible. Obviously, you have to have, like for example, my machine cannot do it because mine is a relic, but you have to have certain minimum requirements for your system to host a model, but that is very doable. How time to overcome Siddiq, it's never ending to become an expert, but I think from scratch it will take you maybe about within 3 to 6 months from scratch. I'm presuming that you don't know anything about AI to learn about these things. Fine, I think that is it. Okay, there are more. I think this is it, right, Sakshi? Sorry, Rashika.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, I mean it was a nice Q&A sessions where the students they were asking. Yeah. So we can wrap up the session, Adarsh sir.
Fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you
Thank
all for your time and your patience. Thank you.
Thank you so much once again, Adarsh sir, for your invaluable insights. Thank you, students, for keeping the patience live. I mean, for more than 2 hours. We will be sharing the attendance QR link and the QR scanner onto the WhatsApp group so that you can mark your today's attendance. Thank you so much once again, Adarsh sir, for taking out the
Thank
time.
you.
Very
Goodbye,
thank you,
and
sir.
have a nice
Thank you.
weekend. Bye.
Nice weekend. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
I will make sure that we address all your queries. So until then, as we are speaking, there are more people from my team with us here in this meeting. So we are all here to help you. So as I'm speaking, make sure that you keep putting in your questions in the chat. So, and don't worry, let me make some important announcement. And after that,